So today I'm going to figure out what's going on in the gas tank. Got me a pump here. I don't think there's anything in there. No. Yes. Bone dry. I don't think there's any fuel in there, but I also think it's probably pretty rusted. I mean, if you look at, just look at this gas cap here. It is pretty rusty. So, probably need a new fuel tank. Alright, so I've got 13 millimeter nut there, 13 millimeter there, and there, and there to remove. I'm going to remove those now. Underneath the car, I see the gas tank has, gosh, there is a nut there. Oh, can you guys see this? Okay, there's a nut there. I think the head of that is on the top though, and there's various fasteners around this. There's something there. Okay, there's something there. I don't know, I don't even know if you guys can see it, but there are various nuts on the bottom of this gas tank. Alright, just going ahead and undoing these fasteners. No, it did come out. Nice. Yeah. Okay, the nut is still in there. Let's see. Let's see what's going on with the nut on the other side. Did it fall down or no? Let us look. Hold on. Wait. Let me get down there and see. I'm very curious as to what happened with the nut. Okay. So, is that this? This must be it. Look. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so I took up that one. All right. Let's keep at it. Okay, it's coming. Ew.
Ew.
Ew, it looks bad.
Wow.
It looks super rusted and bad in there, guys. Oh gosh, yeah, that's a no-go. We need a new tank. See how rusted is this in there? See that?
Yeah.
Look.
Good grief.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Wow.
So, all right. Well, thank you for your help.
You're welcome.
And that was nice.
I finally did something.
You did it. Okay, I just want to show you under the car here. It's really rust-free. Look at this. For a 41-year-old car, I've just removed the gas tank. Look at this. Tell me if you see rust. There's very little rust under the gas tank, or where the gas tank used to be. And there's the opening to the trunk, you can see. And it's looking good. I mean, there is some superficial rust, but it's only superficial down here. Now, I am a little bit concerned about this differential. You see, it does look pretty rusted. And I'm pretty sure it's probably out of differential fluid, but I need to check that and make sure there's diff fluid in there. But otherwise, it really looks good down here, guys. It looks amazing. I don't know. I think it's salvageable, definitely. There's just some minor holes under the passenger side floorboard, but that's pretty much it. I mean, it looks great. It's definitely doable. So let's see what I can do down here. So here's this sleeve, which you can no longer get. I might clean it out a little bit. And here's the filler cap. Oof, that looks pretty rusty inside, so I might at least blow that out and at least brush it out a little bit, clean it up a little bit. So that goes like that, right? If I'm not mistaken, yes. Now, the reason I took all of that out is because I'm going to replace this ferrule here with a new one. Let's go ahead and squeeze that out. Alright. Alright, so right now what I'm going to do is just take a nylon brush and just brush off some of the excess rust off of here. I'm not doing anything too crazy, just getting all the loose rust off. Alright, time for some WD-40. Alright guys, so here is the fuel tank. And the first thing I'm going to install is the sender unit. So you can see here what the sender unit does. Let me show you. So the sender is basically, it goes into the fuel tank right there, into that hole. And it's what sucks up the fuel and sends the fuel to the fuel pump. It also has this little clip here for the gauge, the fuel gauge in your car, empty, full. So I'm gonna be installing this, and see, it has a floater at the tip here. This is a floater. The more fuel you have, the higher this goes, and that would be full, that would be empty. This is a nice little filter at the end of the sender unit that filters out chunks from your gas tank, so big chunks don't go. So that's kind of nice, and if it pumps in fuel, and the rest of the little debris gets sopped up by the fuel filter, which is in the hood. So I'm going to go ahead and install this first. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is something I've seen a lot of people do with these new tanks, is just grease them up. The problem is the tank touches the bottom of the trunk lid, or the trunk I should say, and there's a gap in there where moisture builds up and a lot of rust happens. The rust happens on top of the tank, so a lot of people just grease it up. So I'm going to try it. Alright, so this bad boy is about ready to install. I've got the sender unit in, I've got the seal, trunk to tank seal, I've got this stripping here, this rubber stripping. Hopefully this piece stays put, you know, it may or may not, it doesn't matter. I already have a lot of stripping here to prevent the metal on metal contact. I've got the grease to prevent the corrosion. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Everything's good to go. I think I'm ready for install. Alright, so what I need to do now is switch out this old busted up fuel pump. This thing's not working anymore, and I got a new one. And the new one is actually better. It doesn't rely on points. It relies on a solid state drive inside, so there's nothing mechanical to go wrong. Well, instead it's electrical, but that's more modern anyway. Just keep in mind that on the old SU fuel pumps, you had one of these, basically these fiber washers. You had a fiber washer before the banjo and then another fiber washer. Well, now with these newer pumps, you got these O-rings. So you got O-ring, banjo, fiber washer, bolt. So there's like a slight difference here. You can see it. It's outlined here on the MGB catalog by Moss. New SU pumps use O-rings instead of fiber washers between the banjo fitting and the pump. So just be aware of that. I'm going to assemble it now and see if I can't get that installed. I think it'll be a lot easier to install that with the gas tank out, because I've got lots of working room under here. You see? I've got tons of space to work under here without the gas tank there, so I'm going to do that now. So what you need is a 13/16. Now the thing you want to be aware of is that these banjo unions have a hole, and then that hole has to line up with the hole inside. Oh yeah, you see that? There's a hole inside of the bolt. You see? Look at this. So closed, you see? Closed. And open. I hope you saw that. So you got to line it up just right, otherwise there won't be any fuel flowing. All right, this one's done, I think. I see the opening inside of the bolt hole and the banjo union are all lined up and it's snug. I don't want to over tighten it, but I also don't want fuel to spill, so I'll be keeping an eye on this when I first get it running, make sure there aren't any fuel spills. Maybe I need to tighten it more then. And I'm going to tighten this one and line it up too. Okay, this one's lined up with the bolt hole. This one's lined up. They're both lined up and snug. Again, I'm going to be looking for any fuel spills. If there are, I'll be tightening it more and moving these banjos to line up with the holes. So hopefully this is good enough. We will see. This, again, I'm new to this, so trying to be cautious as I go, and I'm learning as I go as well, but hopefully it all holds up. Alright, so time to remove the old pump. This is a different pump because, again, it's a mechanical pump with points. I'm going to remove it and take a look at it. Before I do, though, I just want to note that this cable from the chassis, or from the wiring harness, was hooked up here on the top. I'm going to unslide that, disconnect that. If it will disconnect. Come on, disconnect please. All right. Oh, actually it's a double thing. I guess this is ground. They're both connected to one another. Okay, I see. And that's a bit of corrosion on there, so maybe I'll hit this with some dielectric grease. Maybe I should get some mass airflow cleaner. Maybe I could clean that out a little bit before I reconnect it. But this is ground. So let me grab my screwdriver so I can remove the fuel pump. There should be enough. Very strange. All right, there must be another fastener underneath, so let's go there. All right, let's get underneath. Wait. All right. All of a sudden. All right, guys, let's get in here. See what we're working with here. Oh yeah. I'm guessing I have to pull it out this way. Oh gosh, oh man. I may have to lift the car a little bit, but here's the fuel pump. You can see those old banjo unions. Everything's corroded. Look, I mean, these hoses are shot and completely dry rotted off. They fell off. The hoses came off from dry rot. Here's the old banjo union. Here's the old bolt. This is the butt end of the fuel pump. Now there is something I need to unplug here. This is the other connector I need to unplug. And then I'm guessing it will slide out this way. So let me check it out. Alright, so this is it. Again, first I'm gonna unplug this guy. This must be the power. Alright. May have to clean that connection there, but there's the plug. What else do I need to actually remove to get this guy out? Can I just slide it out now? Maybe? I might be able to just slide it out at this point. I should be able to wiggle it out. I don't see how else it would be connected. I don't think it's connected to anything else. It's just this grommet. Gosh. Just wiggle. I should be able to wiggle this thing out of there. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Okay, so it turns. What's this? This is the cable. Let me get the cable out of there. Okay, this is the cable to the fuel pump. I don't want to mix it up with the cable. There's another cable over here, but it's to the sender unit. So this is the cable to the fuel pump. You're my witness. All right. Ugh. So now it turns, but it doesn't want to slide out of there because the problem is the pump is actually pretty much seized onto this rubber grommet thing. Maybe some wiggling. Ugh. I might need my pry bar. I might need a pry bar. What is this cable? There's another cable. What is this connected to? Look at this. I don't know what this cable is. There's another cable here. Why is there another cable here? Do you know? As viewers? What is this? What is this cable now? Why is there a third cable? I don't know. That's not good. I have no idea what this cable is. Very strange. Alright, so I need to be somewhat gentle, but wiggle this. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. I'm trying to wiggle this. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go above and see if I can't free it up that way. I'll be back. Oh, gosh. Hold on, I want to show you this. Hold on. Let me show you what I'm doing. I gotta get this free, so let me show you. Hold on, be right back. All right, this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to get this rubber grommet off so I can slide that guy out. So I'm gonna use my pry bar to pry it up, and then I'm gonna use my side cutters to cut, or at least that's the plan. good so far. It's working. I don't want to scratch the paint. That's why I'm not using the pry bar against the car. This last little bit's gonna be a pain. And this rubber stuff does its job though, doesn't it? Come on. Ah. This last little bit is just being a pain. Okay. Look at that, huh? What do you think of that? Alright, so this slide out now. Maybe not. Wow, this stuff is really tough. Gosh, this grommet is really tough. The more I cut it off of here and just get rid of it, I don't know if that's gonna help. It can't hurt. I mean, at least I don't think. I guess it goes all the way through. Gosh, I thought it was just on this side. Yeah, it goes all the way through the other side. Damn. Come on, go through. And this stuff is so stuck on here. I'm gonna take off my rings. Wow. How do you get, should I grease this up, do you think? Like, my gosh, how do you get this stupid thing out of here? It is so stuck on here. It's just not moving. Oh, here we go, here we go. Oh, finally, okay. It moved. All right, so let's go underneath to remove the rest of it. Let's go back underneath. I think I can pull it out from the underside now. All right, let's get this guy out of here. What was this connection though? It's almost like a hose line or something. Maybe it's a part of the vacuum system or something. I don't know what this is. It's held on by a little clasp and there's a hose attached here. I'm guessing that's part of the evap system or something. I don't know, because that's, I'll have to re-clasp it on. So let me keep this little clip. Maybe I can go get another clip. I don't know what this clip is. So let's take that clip off first. Wow. There's the clip. Do you see it? Let me show it to you. Keep that and then pull this hose off. Easier said than done, right? Pulling this hose off of there. Might need a hose, pliers. I don't know. No, it's coming off. It's coming off. Hold on. Let me just wiggle and pull. Wiggle and pull, wiggle and pull, wiggle and pull. Okay, it's off. Alright, so there's a tube attached to this guy. Probably part of the evap system. I don't know. I'll look it up. So let me pull the rest of this out. All right, it's free, you guys. Look at that. The pump is free. Got it out of there. And yeah. See how the banjos were set up on this one? The banjo unions, what they call them. I already showed you how I set mine up. These ones are kind of tilted downwards. I don't know if that's necessary, but since these are tilted down, maybe I'll tilt mine down. We'll see. Actually, hold on, they're tilted up. Hold on, they were tilted up because, yeah, if I remember correctly, they were this way, so they were tilted up. So these ones were tilted up. I should tilt mine up as well. Okay, so tilted up. Oh, I also want to remove the rest of this rubber grommet thing that's a pain in the butt. Maybe I could just squeeze it through the other side. Yeah, just push it through the other side. Yep. Oh, this stuff is crazy. All right, there goes the grommet. Awesome grommet. Bye, grommet. All right, let me install the new grommet and prepare the pump for install. Okay, what I'm doing now is just tilting these up like the old ones. Remember the old banjos were tilted up? I'm going to tilt these up as well. Okay, I don't know how well you see that, but yep. So I've got the banjos lined up with the bolt and tilted up just like the old one. So let's not reinvent the wheel. This one actually doesn't want to move anymore. That's not good, right? This one may not tilt as much. Tilts some. See, this one, when you tighten it, it doesn't want to be pointing up. It doesn't want to tilt. Actually, let me try something. Let me loosen this, move the banjo, then tighten. Okay, so if I tighten now, okay, nice. Okay, so see, they are both tilted up like the old ones were. So that's mimicking what I saw when I pulled the old pump. This is the old rubber grommet thing that was a pain in the butt to remove. Here's the new one. I'm going to go ahead and install the new one now. I'm guessing I should install this before I install the pump, so I'm going to get in there and install this guy. Most of it's in. Man, this last little bit is a pain. Oh, I think I got it. Did I get it? Tiny little bit more. I think there's one last little tiny bit. I think it's in. Let me go check the other side. I'm gonna check the underside. Woo! But I think it's in for the most part. Let me go check it from the underside real quick. Oh yeah, it's almost in. Oh yeah, all I have to do is pull it from this end and it's in. Oh boy, there we go. Nice and snug. Woo! All right. Ready for the new one. This guy gets a new clamp, which I'll tighten down later once I install the actual pump. All right, so this is the top, and it does say top, and top means out, so the fuel's pumping out the top. I do have that one nipple here that attached to that one hose I removed. I do have the connector for the power. And here I have the connector for ground. In my car, ground is negative. And what's nice about Moss is they sent me hoses, you know, and this one is specific hose, fuel pump outlet. So this guy would go to the out. This one is fuel pump inlet, so that would go to the in. And I would hold them down with these hose clamps. So that's the idea. But I might run to AutoZone and grab some mass airflow cleaner, you know, just to spray out those connectors, because they did look somewhat corroded. I want to make sure that there's a clean connection there. So maybe we'll do a quick run and grab some airflow cleaner. All right, so what I got here is some mass airflow cleaner. It's good for electronics, cleaning out connectors and things. I'm just gonna try not to get it on my hands, but spray it on the connector here. It evaporates very quickly. I'm gonna spray some on the other connector underneath the car, and then I'm ready to install. I'm ready to go ahead and install this fuel pump. So I'm just going underneath to fit the fuel pump. I'm just going to basically slide it into place from underneath. All right, what are we doing first? Why don't I go ahead and reconnect this tube? I don't know if this is a vacuum tube. I still haven't looked it up, but I know it was connected, so I'll reconnect it into here. Here's the connection. Reconnecting this hose. All right, just push it on there real tight. All right, it is all the way on. And now there was a little clip, remember? This little clip. I'm gonna reinsert that clip right here. Gonna hold everything on properly. Yeah. All right, that's not going anywhere. Okay, so now the fuel pump is in. It's the right way up. There was a connector that I cleaned, remember, with mass airflow cleaning. spray. So that will be connected here. It goes up and over, just like it was last time. I'm trying to mimic how it was last time. It was up and over, and then fastened here. Its connection goes here. So let me reconnect it now. All right, connection made. Nice. All right, everything's good down here. All right, so I still have to connect the fuel lines in and out. Remember, top was out, and I'm going to show you where that goes real quick. Let me show you. Hold on. Okay, look. All right, so take a look. This is, so this top one is the outlet, and the outlet goes to here, right there. Right there. So I have to do a connection there with a hose in between. Okay, and I'll do that in a little bit. And there's, of course, the bottom one. The bottom one here will go to the fuel tank. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I've got the various hoses. I've got, this one is, let's see if we can't see that, pump inlet. So this is going to be connected to the inlet on the pump and to the gas tank. This will be on the bottom banjo, right? Bottom banjo. And I'm also going to add a hose clamp to it. And then this shorter guy is the one I was telling you about, which is going to span from the top banjo, to right there, where the hose is pointing, right there, you see? So from the top banjo here to the main gas line there. So let me set it up. All right, let's do it. So again, the top one is pump outlet, and it needs its own clamp. So I've got pump outlet, got a hose clamp. Let's go ahead and connect that. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see which way. This way would probably be easiest. So I'm gonna slip that on to the top banjo. I love the sound of that banjo. I'm just gonna put this hose on the banjo, you know. Just slip the hose onto the banjo is all. That's all I'm doing. All right, and then I'll tighten that later. Will this be easier to tighten this way or the other way, do you think? Maybe the other way, right? Let's make things easy in life. Oh, now the hose doesn't want to come off. So it's going on this way. Let me go ahead and tighten it now. So I've got my trusty screwdriver. I will go ahead and tighten down this hose onto the outlet banjo. Again, a very fun word to say. There just aren't enough banjos in our lives. Definitely need more banjo. I'd say that's pretty tight. That's very snug. I don't think that's going anywhere. Maybe another little tiny turn just for good measure. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. That is super tight. All right, and that guy is going to here. So I've got to bend him a little bit, and he will go into here. Now, but that's a lot of bending. I don't like that. This hose is a little long. Maybe I need to cut it a little. Unless I slide it on a lot. Maybe I could just slide it on extra. Let's see what I can do. Hold on. Grab another hose clamp. Hose clamp this way this time. All right. Connecting it to that the main line I showed you earlier. Connecting it to the main line. And I'm trying to make it less kinked, more straight. All right. It is connected, and there's minimal kinking. See how you guys can't see it. Hold on. Can you see it now? You know what? Let me turn you around. That might help you to see. Hold on. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Sometimes you actually want to see what I'm talking about, right? Okay, so take a look. Hold on. All right, now see this? This line is going to there. All right, so this line isn't very bent. It's actually quite nice. And I've installed it quite far into the main pipe, the main metal line. All right, so there's very minimal bend to it. And I should be able to now tighten down this hose clamp and get everything secure. Let me go ahead and do that now. You may get moved in the process, we'll see. What's the end of this guy here? Here. What about here? Going to slide it a tiny bit forward. Right there, man. All right, that is super snug. That is super snug. Hopefully that works. We will see. All right, so just to show you more clearly what I'm talking about. This right here, upper banjo, is connected to the hose. And look where the hose is going. The hose went here, connected to the main line right there, right? So I fastened it to the main line. And you can see it attached to the main line. Okay, and it's not going anywhere. It's tightened down. All right, now I'm just gonna install the lower hose. This one goes to the gas tank. Of course, first I'm gonna add the hose clamp. And and it's gonna go like this. This one will go around to the fuel tank. All right, so let's go ahead and slide it on. Sliding it on. Come on. Slide on the banjo. Slide on the banjo. Woof. Okay, it is on the banjo. Look at this. Hose clamp time. Let me add this hose clamp in such a fashion that it will be easy to tighten. So this way, which means this way. All right, let me slide this on. All right, there's the hose clamp. Let me tighten that down with a screwdriver. All right, that is tight. That is tight. All right, so that's ready for the gas tank. Ready to install in the gas tank. So I guess all I have right now is to grab the gas tank. Whooped! All right, I nearly forgot, make sure to finish up here. So one thing to do is go ahead and connect this guy. Connect this guy back here. All right, so ground is now connected. I also need to go ahead and screw down this retaining ring. So let's go ahead and screw down the retaining ring. All right, this guy's not going anywhere. Let me give it another little snook. Turn. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this fuel pump's not going anywhere. It is super snug now. I almost forgot to mention you can add some of this silicone paste to any electrical connections and it'll keep it from corroding. So I'm just gonna add a little bit here, help reduce the possibility of corrosion on the electrical connectors. And I'm gonna add it to all the electrical connectors, including the grounds on top of the ground. So I just wanted to show you down here that I did go ahead and make the ground where I put the ground. Now again, I don't know if this is the best place to put the ground, but that's the only place I could find that was within the reach of that little cable. So I put the ground up there. It's against some metal. And I'm going to go ahead and add some of this silicone paste. Again, some of this silicone paste. I'm going to add it to a few of the electrical connectors just to prevent corrosion, and to the ground as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Hope you can see. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Hold on, let me show you. I'm going to reinstall this metal cover here. I'm pretty sure this used to come out. Or how did it come through? It seemed to be on the outside, wasn't it? It was on the outside somehow. But how would it stretch? Does it stretch like this? It's almost like the new pump is too long to accommodate this thing. So I may have to ditch this. Actually, no, I could just push things down. Look at that, we're fine. And then this guy comes over. This guy comes over and down. Is that right? Like this. Yes, okay, got it. And now for the other one, right? Basically the ground. All right, hey, check that out. It is assembled. All right. Now at this point, I'm kind of wondering if I should test the fuel pump, like turn on the car, listen for it to click before I carry on, but I don't know if I want to do all that, because I'd have to take it apart anyway if it doesn't work. So I may just carry on, install everything. Oh gosh, it's a strange decision, isn't it? Should I test the pump or should I install the tank? Maybe I'll test the pump. What do you think? Yeah, test the pump. All right, let's do that. All right, so I'm gonna test the pump. So to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and connect the battery. I just had the negative terminal free. Go ahead and connect that now. So the car is charged. And now I'll go turn the key and listen for the clicking of the fuel pump. Actually, I'll set you guys up next to the fuel pump, see what it does. Okay, I'm gonna try to turn on the, at least not the ignition, but turn the key to the on position, see if I can hear the clicking of the pump. Yep, I heard it. Did you hear it? Nice, I heard the pump clicking away. It is fixed, it works, nice. let's do it. I got my clasps here. These things will hold the nozzle in place. All right. That will go like that. Actually, that goes like that. And then this one go over here. Same thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna slide this over. Come on. There we go. Slide that on. Very good. Right over the old pinch marks. And I'm good. See? Ready to install. Let's do it. Alright, let's try it. Let's remove this film. Feeling the nice new tank. Am I crazy, or is this not going to really work? How did this go on before? Huh. Maybe is the ferrule not? Now the ferrule's on, right? This has to go on, right? I mean, how else would it possibly go on? That goes on to there. This would have to go on to here. It just... All right, you know what? That may just work. I think that's good enough. Good enough, right guys? Is that good enough? All right, let's tighten this up. It's on both ends. Let's tighten it up. Snug. That is snug, you guys. That is snug. That's not coming off of anywhere. Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. What do you think, guys? Ready. Of course, this wouldn't be complete without a Brand new gas cap. Let's put that in now. Show you what that looks like. That's sleek, man. What do you think of that? New gas cap, new ferrule, new clasps, new seal. All right, what do you think, guys? New gas cap, new ferrule, new clasps, new seal, new gas tank, new fuel pump, new fuel lines. Okay, the next thing I have to do is sort out this sender unit. I've got to hook up the gas, the output from the gas tank into the pump, into the fuel pump, and then I've also got to hook up the fuel gauge connector here. So let's do that next. Alright, so I've already cleaned off this connector here. This is the connector. This is the connector for the sending unit here. Already cleaned it off. I wonder where I can mount it so that it's out of the way. I'll have to figure out a clever mounting strategy for this thing so that it's kind of out of the way. But for now, I'll just connect it. So here we go. Connected. Good. So again, this will allow me to gauge whether the fuel tank is full or empty. This must be the ground, so I don't know where to send this. Maybe to here and screw it down there, or probably on the chassis. The chassis is better somewhere. Wish I had a good place, which I don't. I'll look around though. I'll have to ground it somehow, some way. Okay. So, alright, so now I have to look for a ground for this. And again, I don't think I can use the tank itself. That probably wouldn't be a very smart thing to do. But I don't have another place for it. So I'll have to come up with a place, I guess. Yeah. I don't think my old sending unit had a ground. Or if it did, I didn't see it. So I don't know where it was mounted, if it was even there. Alright, so the other thing I've got to connect, obviously, is the fuel line, right? This is the fuel line from the fuel pump. Okay, so here it is. This is coming from the fuel pump, and it's gonna come in on top here. Let me grab this here, and that will come in on top like this and down. So let me go ahead and wiggle it down on top. I hope you guys still see what I'm seeing. Okay, I'm trying to just wiggle it on without putting too much pressure on the sending unit. Whoop, that turned a bit. Just trying to wiggle and push a little bit. Again, I don't want to hurt the plastic in the sending unit. Seems somewhat fragile, and I really don't want to send this back. So I'm just trying to be gentle while I wiggle. Gentle wiggling is all. Wonder how much further I've got to kind of move it. Moving it as far as I can. That may be about as far as it'll go. see. Turn it that way. Yeah, that's nice, right? It's just going straight up to the side. All right, so now I can clamp this down. Here's my hose clamp. Bring it close to the end and then ratchet it down. So let me use my screwdriver to get that on. Okay, that's not going anywhere. And I don't want to tighten it too much because it's plastic, so that should do it, you guys. Check that out. So, oof, sorry, there's stuff in your way. Yep, it's all hooked up now. I don't know if you want to look through here. It's probably a little easier. But yeah, it's all hooked up. Again, I'm gonna find a place for this guy, and I have to find a place to stow this slack here for this sending unit. Of course, I'll do all that before I actually run the car. All right, let me show you the next step. So that main fuel line comes here. This is the main fuel line. And let me make sure I can see that you can see what I can see there. So this is the main fuel line, and the main fuel line comes here. There's a short piece of rubber, short hose to the fuel filter, and then the fuel filter goes to the carburetor. All right, so what I need to do now is replace this small piece of tubing, replace this fuel filter, and replace this tube that goes to the carburetor here. Okay, and once I've done that, the entire fuel system would have been changed, except the main fuel line, which I decided to leave alone, even though I ordered a new main fuel line, which is made of metal. The old one seems to be pretty good. It's not rusted too much or anything like that, so I might just stick with it. If it gives me problems, I'll replace that as well, because I have it. I just need to bend it into shape, but I think this is good enough. We could just do the rest of it for today, and then after that I'll do an oil change, spark plug wires, and see if I can't get this thing to crank and maybe even start. The new fuel filter. It doesn't have an up or a down. It has a green dot. Then it has writing. So I'm guessing the writing is up. I don't know if it matters which way this goes, but there's no instructions. And so I will try one way, and if that's not the right way, then it must be the wrong way. We will find out, right? We shall find out. So here we go. Not for fuel. Not for fuel. What? This is the fuel line that was sent to me by Moss. So I will look into that, but it is for fuel. Yeah, that'll fit. Okay, so I need this clasp here, or up here. Actually, this one can go up there, this one can go down like before. I do have some newer clasps. Let's see if that would work better. Grab my channel lock, Nipex. Hopefully this does as good a job as holding on as the last one did. Alright, here goes the final fuel line from the fuel filter to the carburetor. This can go up to the time going over. I wonder if I put the fuel filter on the wrong way around. Was one end thinner than the other end? Is that even a thing? Let me check something. Alright, so I'm glad I double checked because the fuel filter is in the wrong way. I guess the green dot is supposed to be out to the carburetor, so I need to disconnect everything and flip it around. Again, green dot is out. Let me try to attach it here where I have more leverage. It's about as far as it'll go. Alright, let me attach this. Alright. Now that's snug. Boy. That's snug. It's not going anywhere. Now should I go this way? This way? I'm guessing that's alright. Alright, that is tight. That is tight. That is tight. That is tight. Last one to tighten is the one by the carburetor. That one will have to be done with a small screwdriver. Okay, that's it. All right, everyone. Everything is set up. The fuel line is going to the carburetor here. It's going to the fuel filter. It's going to the main line back underneath the car. So that is how you change out a fuel tank and a fuel pump. I'm gonna also add a accompanying video to this, how to do a oil change. I'm gonna do an oil change real quick. Also how to change the spark plugs. These spark plugs are already loose, so I can pull them out real easy. I've already got new spark plugs to replace this with. I'm gonna replace the spark plugs. I'm gonna replace the spark plug wires. I'm gonna do an oil change, and once I've done all that, I'm gonna fuel it up and go ahead and run this engine and see if it runs. Now I'm not going to run it for long because I'm pretty sure the cooling system and the radiator and all that's not really working so well. I've already disconnected the fans because they're so brittle, they're falling apart, and I didn't want them to spin and basically annihilate themselves, so I need new fans. But I will run the engine and see if it can maintain idle, and I'll do that later this video. And again, I'm going to put two accompanying videos, one on how to do oil change and one on how to do the spark plug wires. So I'm going to do that now.